Hello and welcome to the Prodigy Student Table. My name is Cindy. I am the host of the show, and I am so super excited to invite Ayushi. Ayushi is a Prodigy Finance customer and alumni, and also a mentor in our community. And today we're talking about life after graduating and navigating the career world, trying to find your dream job after you have completed your studies. So, welcome, Ayushi. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for welcoming me and also inviting me to this podcast. I think I'm really excited for this. And I think to introduce myself, so my name is Ayushi and I am from India and I went to the UK to study Masters in Management from Cranfield University. And I mean, it was an amazing experience for me over there. And then I worked there for like a couple of years and now I am in Dubai.
Amazing. Before we get into your story, let's just do a quick fire questions to kind of better understand who you are, Ayushi. So, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Same. What is one app at the moment that you absolutely cannot live without?
Sorry, what?
Which app at the moment, so an application on your mobile device, do you recommend and you just cannot live without at the moment?
I wouldn't recommend it, but it's Instagram.
And then one last question, just to better understand you a bit more. What is your favorite snack or your favorite meal?
Since I have moved here to Dubai, they're like a very different kind of chips. They call it Oman chips, and I have been munching on them for like ever since I've been here. Not healthy, but super delicious.
I need to try that. Have you had the Dubai chocolate? I'm sure you
Of
have.
course, first day.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Ayushi. So, quickly, tell us a little bit about why you chose Cranfield and the UK as your study abroad destination. Typically, students choose the US and this big American
Mhm.
dream to go and complete their studies. Why did you choose the UK?
Why UK? So in my case, I think there were like a few factors that I took into consideration. The first one was when I was planning, it was during the COVID. So the regulations and the restrictions of India and with UK, it was a bit easier at that point. So that was one thing. The second one was that it was just a 1 year course in the UK. So in most of the world, the post graduations are for 2 years, but in the UK, it's only for 12 or 13 months at most. So it was just 1 year. So it's like concise. So that actually saves up a lot of time and also money because you're just paying for 1 year of tuition. And then, of course, like, I mean, everybody's dream is to go to the US because everybody has those, American dream. But I think for me, I had like more inclination towards London and towards the UK. So I was more biased at that point to move to the UK. And why I picked Cranfield, so I think it's quite very highly ranked for my course, which was Masters in Management. I think at that time, I think it was 3 years back, so it was in top 25 globally and top 10 for the UK. And I got the admission. So it was quite very easy for me to decide that I want to go to that university. Cherry on the top was that they were giving 1 month in Spain, which was included in the student, like the tuition fee. So I was like, okay, it's a clear deal.
1 month in Spain?
In Spain, yes.
Oh, was that like an internship or tell us a little bit about that?
It was like a study abroad, but kind of like an exchange program as well. So it was based in two different cities, both in south of Spain, Granada and Valencia. So we spent 10 days in Granada and then the rest of the time in Valencia. So it was good for the education point, but then it was summers in Spain. So it was awesome. So I was like, I have to go for Cranfield.
That sounds amazing. And tell us about when you arrived in the UK. Was it your first time leaving home? What was that experience like?
I think if I just concise all of it, it was like overwhelming, but in a really nice way because everything around you is so new, so different as to what we're used to back in India. And then everybody around you is different. It's so diverse. There are so many other nationalities and so many languages. I mean, I'm coming from India. We already have so many languages already, but once you move to the UK and there are people from all over Europe, from the west, from the east side. So it's nice. It's like you're coming across new people, new cultures, so many things to try along the way. And when I started my university, even the approach of teaching and how the lectures are conducted and how assessments are done, everything is like so different. So does take time for you to get habitual to it and actually like accept. But it's fun, like you just explore and even like for yourself, like you discover a different side of you because you're in a very different setup. So I think overall, I would say it was amazing.
Sounds incredible. So, as a small town, I mean, you come from a small town in India and now you come to the UK, which is big and different and diverse, and there's lots going on. What was the biggest culture shock for you?
I think the biggest thing is like how fast paced the city is. Like, as you said, like I come from a small town. So like after 8 p.m., it's all dark outside. Like apart from, the stray animals, nobody's on the road. So, but when I arrived in London for the first time, like that city runs 24 hours. Like it's never quiet outside. Everything is so quick. Like, even you want to grab a bite, you could hop into some, like a falafel shop or something. So like it's fast paced. Everything is like rushed and even like, the morning times when you have to reach your workplace, you have to like plan everything like an hour in advance because you got a long commute along the way. But like when you're like in a smaller city, it's like 10-15 minutes, so you're like very relaxed, like you're not in such a hurry first thing in the morning.
So, how long did you live in the UK for before moving to Dubai?
I think altogether with my university and my job, almost 3 years.
Wow, sure, that's quite a long time. And let's talk about the financial aspect of your studies. Who helped you? How did you fund your studies and manage life financially in the UK?
So I think for my tuition fee, of course, I seeked help from Prodigy Finance. So that was completely taken care of and like amazing experience. I have to say it was super easy. Even like I'm on my repayment part now, and even that is so convenient. But apart from like the tuition fee, if we talk about the day-to-day expenses, I used to do part-time work. Like I used to work in the restaurant sometimes, or I used to work in the warehouses. I could just pick like whatever shift I prefer to do, overnight shifts or the day shifts on the weekends. So that used to take care of my rent and like my day-to-day expenses. So I think it's easy to manage. Like I think like my course was not very difficult, but I think even for the technical courses, like somebody from STEM background, even for them, like managing 2 hours should not be very difficult. And working maybe like 20 or 18 hours every week kind of take care of everything.
Yeah, I think as an international student, you have to have some source of income
Income,
flowing.
yes, because the entire country, if you live in the suburbs or you live in the main town or in the city, it's expensive throughout. So you need some, free cash so you could, get along with your life and also some cash because, like you in the country for the first time and you have so many things you want to try. You have places to go, you have like different cuisines that you want to try. For that, if you have like some money, I think it really helps. And also I think it makes you sort of like independent in a way because
Yeah.
you're slowly transitioning from a student to a working professional. So I think once you start working even like a small job as a bookkeeper or librarian, I think you start learning how to manage your finances, how to budget things. So I think that kind of lays the foundation for the upcoming years.
Great. Let's talk about your career and moving to Dubai and those upcoming years. So, after you graduated, you said you remained in the UK for 3 years. Did you find a job quite easily after graduating?
So I think I wouldn't say it's very easy to find a job right after graduation because you are in a huge pool where the people from all across the globe are there, and even people who are native from the UK, they're applying from the same roles. So you have to really put yourself out there, be active on LinkedIn, go to networking events, be very comfortable to put yourself out there and also keep working on the skills, like keep upgrading yourself. So I think for me as well, like I didn't find the job right away. I think it took me a couple months after I finished my graduation to land my first job. And I think it's the interesting story about is that while I was looking for the jobs, I was working in a restaurant and I was serving a table, and just because like I was very confident and I was like very outgoing and I was serving a table, and the guy, a very nice gentleman, and we just happened to be in a conversation, and he just asked me like, you look very well spoken and like well educated, like just tell me a bit about you. And then we just chatted maybe like for 5 minutes, and he just handed me over his card and like maybe let's just grab a coffee in like whenever you are off. That's how actually I got my first job. I met him after a couple of days on a coffee. We just had a professional conversation about what I've done, what have I studied, and then yeah, I just joined the next month. So you really have to be out there, like approach people, and just yeah.
That is amazing. I mean, I speak to a lot of students, graduates who struggle to find a job, and they're always like spending excessive amounts of time on LinkedIn or really just kind of networking with everybody. And you're so blessed to have this incredible story of just meeting someone. But yeah, that's some really great advice. Just put yourself out there, speak to people, be confident,
Mhm.
share your story. I think that
Exactly.
is, yeah, that is so incredible. So how long did you work at that company for?
I worked with them for about 13 months till I found my next role. And over there, I worked for another year before I moved to Dubai.
So tell us about Dubai. How is it? How did this opportunity come? Why did you choose Dubai?
Okay, so first of all, like Dubai is amazing. It's beautiful city, loads of opportunities, and I think how I got intrigued to move to Dubai was again Instagram reels because it's like so awesome. Like everybody is like enjoying in Dubai. I was like, maybe I need to have a bit of that experience. So I started looking for opportunities because I think right now I'm in a phase where I really want to experience a few things before I actually settle into one city or one country. So I was looking for opportunities, and Dubai was like kind of like on the top of my list. And then I started applying on Indeed, on LinkedIn, and a few more job portals. And I think 6 or 7 interviews, and I think this company that I'm working for now, it's one of them. I think finally after all the discussions, I'm like, okay, fine, I am moving to Dubai. So
Wow.
I
And
think
what's life been like for you there?
so like because I moved from London, Dubai wasn't a very different, like a cultural shock, or wasn't very
Mm.
different because it's kind of a very similar setup over here. But at the same time, the industries and the way people work and the working culture, it's quite very different how from what it's in the UK. But it's amazing. It's exhilarating, like it's fast paced and everything happens really quick and so many opportunities. Like it's actually a place where you could achieve so much.
Would you mind sharing a little bit about the role in itself? What exactly are you doing for this company?
So I'm working in finance at the moment, and to be specific, I'm working in trade finance. So basically, what we do is take care of the finances of the trades that happen, like imports and exports. So all
Okay.
the documents that are required from the banks, monetization of those documents. So that's what I am working in at the moment.
Is it quite different to what you studied? I know you said you studied masters in management. Did you know that you would go into financing?
I think finance was not very like prominent in my course, but then when I was planning to study masters in management, I didn't really come with a direction that which direction I would want to go, because in my bachelor's I studied completely different subject. I studied biotechnology, so I came up with the open mind that whatever I'm going to like throughout my 1 year of the degree, I'm going to go in that direction. And I think all of my roles ever since have been in finance, not related, but then they had like sort of application from and transferable skills. So I think there has been a progression in that way. That's also like a good thing about the course, Masters in Management, that it gives you an open option, that you have like different ways you want to go, whichever you like. And especially for somebody who has an entirely different specialization in their bachelor's.
Would you say there are a set of skills, like a specific set of skills that you gained from studying your masters that really stood out when you were job hunting?
I think the foremost thing is the communication skills that I have learned, and of course that actually like is applicable for your jobs and like in general in your life, and also like the approach that you take towards your work. During our education, most of the things were like research based. You have to find solutions, you have to really think, you have to think outside the box at times. So that really makes you a very critical thinker. You're able to analyze situations. So these are the skills that actually you would be using in real life, and when you're in the job making decisions, you would have like problems, you would have like at least 10 tasks lining up, and then you have to like really prioritize like which one has to be done first. So all of those things I've actually learned from my degree actually. Like of course I got the theory knowledge from it, but then I think that will help you to a certain point, but then you would need the real life skills, which are much more important.
Wow. And what inspired you initially to do your masters? Like you could have easily just stayed in India, stay with your family, maybe get a job over there, but you chose to just like up and leave and go to a country that you had no clue or idea about. What made you decide to do that? I think it's such a brave move, and I'm just so interested, and I'm sure our listeners are as well, just to understand what was your thinking when you made that initial decision?
No, of course, I have to say it's like a very brave decision, like whoever makes it, especially coming from India. For me, I think I was the first one who actually moved out of the country to, and like, actually miles away. I was the first one to do it. So I think you are very stressed and you don't know what to expect. But then I always wanted to go out. Like I knew it that, someday I would do. I didn't go for my bachelor's, but then, when I finished my bachelor's, I was not quite very, I would not say happy, but I just realized that biotechnology is not something that I really want to do. Like, I like the subject still, but I don't really want to make that as my career. And then after like thinking a lot, I thought like maybe I'm going to like try a very different approach, because I know like I really like to be out there. I like to be outspoken. So I thought like maybe I think I am made for a very different industry, like have to go into the business world. So then I decided, okay, I'm gonna do something in business or something in management. And then while I'm doing it, why not actually do it from the best universities and like get some amazing exposure? And UK has been, a financial hub for like, I don't know, centuries now.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. Like, and I just made the brave choice. And I think, and then just things happen one after the other. Like it's just very important for you to take the first step and actually, move forward with it.
Wow. Yeah, I think it takes a very resilient person and someone who's
Mm.
really positive because like you mentioned, you don't really know what's going to happen, but it's just taking that leap of faith and knowing that everything will work out. And look at you now. I mean, you in Dubai, you're working for a financial company. Things
Yes.
have
I think
things
it
have
just,
really
like
worked out.
makes you so confident and so independent. Like, especially for women, it's like so important for you to be like confident and independent. And once you move out and you realize that, it's not really scary out there, you were just, scared to take the first step. But then once you do it, then there's like no stop to it. You would just like keep going, keep wanting more, keep want to like go higher in life.
Incredible. So, Ayushi, what are your final thoughts, or reflections, like looking back, like from that initial journey of making that decision to leave home, to travel to the UK, to apply for Cranfield? Is there anything that you would have done differently?
Think so. I think I liked the experience the way I had. I mean, I did have, it was not all fairy tale for me. There were like a lot of ups and downs for me along the way. But I think I, like cherish all of those together. So I wouldn't really change anything about it. But if I have to like advise or like give suggestion to people about how to approach all of these things, is that first of all, like be positive, believe in yourself, just trust your gut instincts and just believe that if you really put your mind and heart to it, you can achieve it. And also just be confident, be out there, be outspoken, speak your mind out. uh, I try to believe in yourself and also keep working on yourself. Like you have to keep updating yourself every day. Yeah, that would be my advice to somebody planning to move abroad.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Ayushi. That's some really encouraging and beautiful advice. For our listeners today, Prodigy Finance does support a ton of schools in the UK. We actually cover tuition and living expenses. So the full cost of attendance for some of the top schools in the UK. So if you are considering UK as your study abroad destination, Ayushi is a testament to how there are opportunities in the UK and the UK could be an option for study abroad destination. We are thoroughly happy to have this conversation with you, Ayushi. Thank you so much for joining us today. Do you have any final words, any final thoughts to say before we close off?
No, no, thank you so much for having me. It was super fun. And I just want to wish like all of the people who will be watching this all the very best. Believe in yourself and just, you could have the world if you like really aim for it.
You can do it. Thank you,
Yes.
Ayushi. Thank you so much to our listeners for joining. And don't forget, like I say, if you found this podcast useful, don't forget to like, hit subscribe to stay up to date with all topics around study abroad. Until next time, bye.
Thank you.